So I've been going through a lot of old boxes lately because I have a lot of weird junk in my house. Like, what is this? Where did this even come from and why do I have it? I mean, I'm keeping it, obviously. Look at it. Oh ho ho! Now I remember what's in this box. Alright, well I guess we gotta talk about this. As a kid, I was always torn on what to spend my small allowance money on. Do I save up for a while and get a new video game? Or do I spend it on a toy that I could afford sooner? I could also technically put it into savings, but why would I do that? I'm pretty sure Bionicle are worth more than a college education. It was hard choosing between video games or toys. If only there was a way to combine them somehow. And then in 2007, my dilemma was solved when I saw the commercial for UB Funkeys.
Will you be funky?
2011's Skylanders is often credited as the first Toys to Life game, but that's not true. To its credit, it absolutely popularized the genre, and it died shortly after. These games were everywhere in the years following Skylanders, but it wasn't the first. I mean, you could kinda consider 2005's Webkinz a Toys to Life game. These stuffed animals gave you codes that unlocked them in an online game. The idea to combine toys and video games had been around for decades. I mean, look at the robotic operating buddy for the NES. But we're getting way off track. The act of taking a little guy and putting it on a thing and whoa, look, he's on the screen now! Yeah, that started with UB Funkeys. It's such a cool concept, having physical figures that unlock content inside the game. Sure, these kinds of games have their downsides, having to track down and buy all of these things to experience everything, not to mention all the space they take up. These were things that kept me from trying any of these games when they really got popular.
Oh, my Funky got fried!
But I'm not here to complain about Toys to Life games, because back then, I didn't care. This was the coolest thing in the world back then. You know what? Still kind of is. This was my wallpaper back in 2008. Yeah, I was kind of awesome. The figures themselves are so cool. They all use the same basic shape, but the designs are really good, and they managed to make all of them really distinct from one another. They made the ears into eyes on this one. All I wanted for Christmas in 2008 was UB Funkeys. I had a friend with the game who showed me how it worked, and it looked so neat. And on Christmas Day, my dreams came true when I got my very own UB Funkeys starter kit. I sat in front of the computer for like 2 hours watching the game slowly install, wondering what exciting gameplay awaited me. Okay, this is awesome. So there's sort of a story. Funkeys are little funny friends who play games and use these portals to travel between worlds. But oh no, evil Master Locks broke all the portals, and now very conveniently, only specific Funkeys can access certain areas. UB Funkeys is very similar to a lot of those other digital world games in the early 2000s. You run around, you decorate your house, you play minigames, you know the drill. Each Funky comes with their own unique minigame. Since buying one only unlocks a single new game, they've all gotta be pretty great, right? Let's just say not all of the minigames are of the same level of quality. A lot of them are really fun, don't get me wrong, but some of them are really short and kind of not good. Buying a Funky could unlock a really fun 18-hole mini-golf game, or a single clunky game of volleyball. You really never know what you're getting into. Honestly, the volleyball game isn't even that bad. I just think it's funny that some of these were the same price. A lot of the puzzle games are super replayable, and any of them with a lot of rounds where things get more difficult tend to be pretty good. But sometimes you might get one that's just a single basic round and that's it. My starter pack came with one of each, Drift and Bones. Drift has a pinball game, which is kind of fun, though I wish there were a bit more to it. Bones, on the other hand, has this great fishing game. I always liked this one a lot. A lot of these are pretty good clones of other existing games. I mean, Funky Space Invaders is really good, all things considered. That one fighting game, though, where each of the Funkies had its own unique moveset, that one was great. It's too bad this never caught on. Imagine high-level competitive Funky fighters, everyone walking up on stage carrying their little Funky. Imagine YouTubers making Funky fighters tier lists. I'm so sad that I thought of this, because I need that to be real. So most of the games are pretty good, at least out of the ones that I had. But the real gameplay of Funkeys is decorating your crib. This stuff is great. I spent hours as a kid making my house as awesome as possible. Each Funky has their own shop where you can buy exclusive items, so even if the game is the worst thing you've ever played, you at least get some pretty cool furniture. And regardless of quality, this gives incentive to play through the games. Scoring high enough in a minigame can get you new items, a trophy with your high score. You can unlock it in your game room to play whenever. I don't care if this minigame sucks, I just want to complete my house. And if that awesome couch you want just happens to come with a fun minigame, then that's even better. That's an added bonus. Minigames and house stuff were always my favorite aspects of the game, but there's other fun stuff you can do too. Different Funkeys can access different portals to other lands, and there's fun stuff to do in each of them. There's a handful of bonus minigames that don't need specific Funkeys too, and honestly some of these are my favorites in the game. The Hidden Realm is a really cool area because there's these doors that only open up if you have enough Funkeys. It doesn't matter which ones they are, you just need that many. So you can clear the first door by having 3 unique Funkeys step on the buttons, and more are needed to get further and further with new games behind each door. The other worlds you visit are cool too. There's all sorts of funny little things to interact with. All the different Funkeys have different buildings, and they all say unique things when you click on them. Each group has their own thing going on, and it's cool. My favorite place might be Funkeys Island. This one just has a lot of fun stuff. You can go fishing, you can buy postcards and email them to your friends even though it doesn't work anymore because the server shut down like a decade ago. We're gonna make it work, trust me. And it just has a really nice atmosphere. This place is supposed to be Funkeys Paradise, and it really feels like it. And then there's Speed Racer World. Yeah, this is real. They did a weird crossover with the 2008 Speed Racer movie. Look at this Racer X Funky. Is this not the greatest thing you've ever seen? This whole area feels really out of place with the rest of the game, but it's funny, so I like it a lot. Hot Wheels. There were also the Chat Funkeys. These guys had a different shape from the others. Instead of a minigame, they unlocked a chat room where you could interact with other players. Again, server shut down years ago, so this stuff is all gone now, but these rooms were a lot of fun. People would show off all the rare Funkeys they had in these. There were figures made of some of the story mode characters, and back in the day, I only found out about these through people in the chat room switching to them. Back in 2008, I thought UB Funkeys was the coolest idea ever, and unfortunately, it's hard to get the game working again on modern computers. Thankfully, there's a surprisingly dedicated Funkeys community still, and I was able to find a way to get it working again. You can even play without the UB hub and just click on whichever Funky you want to switch to. I'll include a link in the description for anyone interested in checking the game out. So, I don't know, I guess the point of this video is just to say UB Funkeys are awesome, and you're not.